Hello, welcome everybody to episode 2. I'm excited for this episode. We discuss a lot, including meeting John Legend. What? Also, we discuss our trip to Chicago, why we went there, how to fly, how not to fly. And lastly, we discuss more on why I need the closure I do and what questions I need to ask my therapist this week. Let's get started. Welcome to Beyond Brave. I'm Kyla, and here's where we dive into stories of hope, bravery, and laughter. Millions followed our journey with my daughter, Bella, but now it's time to go beyond the headlines and highlight reels to those raw, real moments I haven't shared anywhere else. So are you ready to go beyond brave? Let's dive in.
But if you want to be perfect, you can make it perfect.
Hello, Bravelings. Welcome to episode 2 on Beyond Brave with Kyla CT, which is me and my hubby. How long can I keep this rhyme going?
I get Beyond Brave with the Kyla CT. What about me? Huh?
Oh,
What am I?
it's a good rhyme too.
Oh, shoot.
Beyond Brave with Kyla CT. But what about me? New series coming soon.
We're already creating a spinoff.
All my guests will be like, what about me? What about me with Ed Sheeran?
Did you manage to get Waylon settled down?
What about Ed? Yeah.
Right before we started hitting record, we heard Mommy.
Mom!
Oh, what did he do?
I heard Mom!
Oh.
You heard Mommy? No, I heard Mom. Meatloaf! Okay.
Because it's after his bedtime.
Yeah, he is way past his bedtime right now. He just wanted cuddles because he could hear me. He's just, Mom, I want cuddles. It's always something with the bedtimes, which a lot of people are probably pretty familiar with.
So maybe we'll have a guest appearance later on in the show.
No, don't say that. He could probably still hear us.
We'll
But
just flip the iPad at him.
it is 9 p.m., isn't it? 8:30? No, he's fine. He just wanted cuddles. So I gave him cuddles. And then I said, you know what? I said, I told your puppy, his little husky puppy, I told him earlier how to give really good cuddles. So I gave him lots of lessons and he starts laughing. What did you talk to him? How did you tell him how to cuddle me? I was like, I told him already. He's a professional.
That's the same one that Bella has.
Yeah.
With her.
Same one that Bella has with her.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, Bucky knows how to cuddle. He's a professional cuddler. And I taught him what to do because mommy's got to go downstairs and do some work. So.
Because Waylon is 6 and he's in grade 1, if anyone didn't know.
Yeah, our son, Waylon. Yeah. And if you listen to our first pod, we just launched yesterday, episode 1 in the books. We're very, very happy about that. And I guess it's been 24 hours and it's been 24 hours, right?
Mm-hmm. And
we have over 1,000 downloads.
What does that have to do with Waylon?
Sorry, I was going to mention. No, I was going back to. I was going to I was trying to circle back, make some sort of connection to Bucky when you were like talking about the same stuffy puppy that Bella has.
Oh yeah,
that Waylon has, and I was going to say, like in our first episode, we talked about what Beyond Brave is all about, and we're carrying on the legacy of our late daughter Bella Brave.
Mm-hmm.
And so she passed away July 14th this year, and we buried her with a special stuffy puppy that Waylon has, this exact same one. And it was given to us by the PICU team at Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto. And the care team there, I forget the exact, they were like a team of 2 guys that came in. They were like a special support system for the parents and siblings. And they gave us the book, Strings. What's the title of the book?
Right. I remember. It was a good book. It was about a string always being connected to you.
And your loved one that has passed.
Yeah.
And then I talked with Waylon and we talked about how his puppy, they're like husky puppy stuffies, and how Bella's puppy and his puppy have this string, invisible string. That's the title of the book. They have this invisible string connected to each other.
I think a medical mom wrote the book. I forget. It's the back pages. She might even be Canadian.
Really?
Yeah.
We've read this book how many times with Waylon? We should know this by now.
I read the back of it though.
Yeah.
Where it explains it. It was good. It was very sweet. We should actually reach out to her. It'd be interesting.
We should. Waylon loves that book. He loves it so much. And the connection he has now with his sister through it is, and its message is amazing. So he hugs his puppy every night. And we do have a special visitor. Not Waylon, our cat. Ooh, shiny red ball. Sorry, guys. This is funny. All right. Okay, we don't want to get too much off track. Bring it back. Scotty might come in for a visit. Denny can hop on and let me know if she's causing too much noise, because my original idea, you guys, with this background, can I go off on this?
Of course you can.
Okay, remember when I was like, Denny's our producer, by the way. He's an amazing friend, and we'll get to who he is later. Right now, he remains a mystery. However, we were talking with Denny and Lyle and me about how I wanted our studio to look. And my original idea was like a cat activity wall, because we have 3 cats. And I was like, oh, we could have like the little slide and little like, little hammocks and little ladders and little steps. And then our cats could just play in the background for like entertainment.
Right. Because you don't get distracted. Keep it real smooth.
Yeah.
Great.
And so you and Denny both kiboshed that idea. I was looking at the entertainment side.
Hey, you know what? And we were probably wrong.
No, I think you're right.
Because your gut usually is right.
Well, I think it would keep people engaged. You'll see cats fly around in the background, but
we could absolutely try like a trial episode.
We could do a trial episode. I mean, Scotty's trying to right now. She's crawling around in the background over there by the cords. But Denny had said...
Okay, no, I got a side note. Remember National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
Yeah.
And the cat gets in the Christmas tree?
Yeah.
Where the cat is right now, there might be a million wires.
Yeah, she is.
It'd be I mean, might have to cancel the recording.
Let's hope not.
Sorry.
But apart from it being completely distracting, it was also a recommended no as to like there being too much noise in the background. And
right. So if you see a weird like flutter, because we are doing video.
Yeah,
we're gonna make that happen.
First video.
Yeah, if it, you might catch a glimpse of cats.
She's under me right now. I think she's under my chair. Okay, back on track. We have a lot to discuss in this episode, and where I wanted to start was with what we had mentioned in episode 1. We were about to go on to our trip with Waylon to Chicago.
What a trip!
For the Ronald McDonald House Charities Global 50th Anniversary Gala that we were invited to. And I wanted to start off with how we were invited to that, because that was really special. And then go into lots of more fun, exciting things like my tourist look, what we learned when you're packing for flights. Because a lot of you might think I fly often as a medical mom, and I did, but it was ambulance flights, not your regular flights, right? So it's
just PJs.
It's
just private jets.
Just PJs. Yeah.
They weren't they're air ambulances, but they were old private jets.
Yep.
You would usually be flying on with Bella out of Saskatoon. Who was the One Star's old jet?
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah. What's Barbara Streisand?
They refurbished her.
I think they just make space for like the, I don't know what you call
the gurney.
Ambulance
gurney.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have lots to discuss with Chicago, but how Chicago came to be, how we got to fly down there and take in this beautiful anniversary gala event was of course so. Ronald McDonald House Charities has always been Bella's number one go-to when she's like advocating, or when she had advocated, and so we had worked with them many a time with RMHC Canada and RMHC Global, advocating for families like ours who are in hospital and need somewhere. Families stay close, need somewhere to stay. Long story short, the CEO RMHC Global sent me a letter and a card in the mail after Bella had passed. And she wrote a very personal, kind letter and gave me her contact information, and basically like, I am here for you is what she said. And it just really touched my heart. This is of course Kate Fitzgerald, And I reached out to her, and like I do with I guess you could say celebrities or people that are well known, and
well, you have no real censor of like, no, you reach out to you reach out to everybody, actually. Like anyone who writes to you, you usually reach back, and it doesn't matter who they are. Yeah, you're not shy.
No, I'm not shy. Like
you said, hey, thanks for the message. Anyways,
reached out to her, and like I, texted other people in my phone, like just throwing out a text to David Foster or Halsey or Ashley, but that's
are you name dropping?
Well, only because so people get kind of context where it's just like, it's nuts that I have contact with these people and we have like a relationship, and there's so many stories behind that. But to the average person, Kate, the CEO of RMHC Global would be on that level, right? Like she's like, can you imagine?
She's not a celebrity.
To me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
you know what I mean? Like to me, she is. I'm just like,
that's a good way to put it. Oh, okay.
This is who reached out to me out of respect to my daughter. She knows who Bella is. She understands her story. And she wrote this letter and said, reach out to me. That was huge to me. And so I did. And not only like it was personal in a sense that it was like when we connected, it was like, we would really, really, really love to have you and Waylon and Lyle at this event. And we'd love to make that possible for you guys. And just, that's how we got there.
And so it was their 50th, right?
Yeah. So it was RMHC Global's 50th anniversary, and they hadn't been able to celebrate since 2019.
So they really went big. It was cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was like lavish. Well, it was lavish. It was really,
they raised $76 million.
They invited a lot of good people and raised $76 million bucks at it. That was nuts.
And we did not know who the surprise musical talent was going to be. They didn't tell us till we got there. There's 2 other RMHC families that were also able to take part. And oh my goodness, we just connected with the parents, number 1, but number 2, the one family had 3 triplets that were just the sweetest, and they were the same age as Waylon, and it was just amazing. It
was funny, Waylon vibing with the 3 of them.
Oh,
they're all so funny together.
So sweet. They all had our names, and I asked him after we were going back to the hotel room, I'm like, who did you dance with tonight? And he's like, I don't know, Mom, I couldn't keep them straight, but I danced with all of them. They're identical triplets. Yeah.
Reminds me of that Office episode.
Yeah.
Where Michael and he marks the one of the girl that he likes with a Sharpie on his hand, because they met 2 girls and they look very close together.
He's like,
so, he just had to mark one with a Sharpie. He couldn't tell. Oh, poor guy.
That was.
He had his hands full.
The highlight of my night.
I like John Legend. That might have been the highlight.
Okay, yes, that's what I should have probably got to that.
The entertainment there at it.
So we're a part of the VIP group that got to go and meet. So John Legend wasn't like a part of everything through the whole night. It was, I'm not sure what he did, but he came on like probably in his green room or whatever, and then came out on stage for he was the show, like the musical talent at the end of the night. But prior to all that, before like the awards and the shout outs, and they did like short eulogies of members of RMHC that had passed that year, including Bella.
Yeah, there's 5 of them.
Yeah. And he was able to meet with the VIP group. So the families, and then some other people that had got to meet him, and we got to meet him before the whole event actually happened. And so
it was like a meet and greet. There was a meet and greet with John Legend.
There's a meet and greet. This is why Denny called it. This is going to be like an hour 15. How long should we go? 30, 45. No.
The meet and greet was really cool.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
But he also has a connection with Ronald McDonald House, doesn't he, John Legend?
Yes, he explained that during the show. Yeah, and Chrissy.
Okay.
Yeah, they have, and I believe they have needed it, or I can't remember. He mentioned it at the beginning. They have supported and they have that connection. And
haven't they had a sick child?
Yes.
There.
I think that was it. I forget the details. I would have to.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
You put me on the spot. Now I feel dumb.
I promise that will never, ever happen again. I'll never make you feel dumb.
Anyone on here can Google it. Denny, look it up. Denny, look it up. What are the shout outs?
But the event was really cool. Really well done.
It was amazing.
John Legend kicked ass. He was awesome.
Yeah. We got to meet him, shake his hand, and take a picture with him in the beginning. And Waylon was like, I got to tell him. I was trying to tell him a little bit about, I'm like, his name's John or Mr. Legend or, whatever. And you can talk to him, tell him what you like about his music, tell him you like to play the piano too. And what does he tell him? I got a loose tooth. And he's like, look at. So if you see in my video that I took where he's like shaking our hands and then we take a photo and then Waylon's like talking to him and John's like, oh, and he starts like kind of like this laugh. Like
he said we should hook it up to the door. Slam the door shut and get rid of it. I was like, yeah, we should. That'd be pretty wild.
That's what we were talking about with John Legend is Waylon's loose tooth.
And the fairy or the tooth fairy.
Yeah, tooth fairy. Yeah.
But we went up there. So the event was amazing. We stayed there till like, pretty late. Waylon did well. I think midnight we wrapped things up.
Yeah, he did really good. Yeah.
You went to the room. I stayed out a little later.
Oh, yeah.
I hung out with Katie and her husband.
You did.
The CEO and his husband was cool. Funny. He was into like science and stuff.
Yeah, you guys like bonded over like Graham Hancock, like stories and like soils and sciencey stuff. It was so funny. I love that. Waylon and I crashed.
Sure, you couldn't wait to get out of there. Just, get this guy out of here.
I wore my boots weren't bad, but my feet were a bit sore. But the dance party was awesome. The DJ was so cool. Yeah. And the kids like lit up the dance floor. Oh, that's what I was going to say earlier is watching him put his hand out. Like, it's okay. No. So he went up to one of the girls, tapped on their shoulder, put his hand out to dance. So the first triplet was like, no. Peace out. She's like, get out of here.
Nice thing. He's got 3 chances.
He's got 3 chances. Yeah. And then the second one was a hit.
Oh. Okay.
And the second one was a hit and they twirled and they spun and then they all just kind of like danced on their own. But it was so cute the way he like politely asked to dance. Like he reached out his hand like in a little fairy book. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember the eulogy part that they did for Bella too well. Do you remember much about it specifically? I'd have to rewatch it.
Say that again.
Like when they talked about Bella at the presentation, like of the the memoriam part.
Oh yes, I have that all recorded. We could even we could play that.
No, we won't. It'll be fine.
It was really short, but it was really genuine, and they talked about her and her advocacy for RMHC and as a medical kid and the 10 years she spent in a Ronald McDonald House, and they made a really beautiful, sweet, short tribute to her.
And talked about her making RMHC her priority and her really being into philanthropy and getting it. Yeah. That's cool.
Oh, and I just got the news. Okay. So following up on John Legend's connection.
John Lennon wasn't there.
No, John Lennon was not there. Legend. Okay, so according to People magazine, his 6-year-old son Miles, had type 1 diabetes diagnosis. And of course, he is the dad, and they have daughters Luna and Esty, who is 1, and son Ren, 1.
Cute.
With Chrissy. Yeah.
Cute.
Thanks, Denny, for that quick little.
So the event was awesome. The event was Saturday night, but we flew up early. We went into Chicago. Thursday?
We were smart. We were like, okay, the travel day is going to be long because we had 2 connecting flights. And so it was like, let's go Thursday so we can have Friday to just, because
there was no moment. I don't know what. I think I had 25,000 steps that day.
Thursday was a long travel day. We got up, we had to leave, fly to Minneapolis, fly to Chicago, and then get in and rest. And then so Friday was nice to wake up.
I don't know what you're complaining about flying for.
No,
you have no. I don't know. What are you doing in the airport?
Here we go.
Just one thing about Kyla is
There we go.
she just turns her brain off the second we enter the airport.
We have discovered this about me.
You check out. Like,
to my defense.
To your defense, when we were entering a hospital or something like that, it was you took over. Complete, like switches are on, all engines go. This is this, and this. Not the airport.
Not the airport. Opposite. My name is Kyla.
Yeah, it was So I don't know I just dragged you around everywhere.
It was a funny way that we discovered this because it started with your breakfast order and your lunch order, which one of them I got completely wrong. And the second one, I just didn't get at all.
You're making it out like I was barking orders to you.
No. It's just
when you offer to get me lunch and then you show up with no lunch. Well, where's my coffee? You have your coffee and sandwich. Where's mine? Okay. So thanks for offering anyway. So
I literally walk up. I'm like, okay, what do you want for lunch? Okay, this and this. Okay. Go up, order something for me and Waylon, sit back down, completely oblivious to the fact that I did not get his order. Where did my brain go?
And this is all after security.
Yeah.
The security, you dragged in 5 gallons of liquids. Have you been on an airplane? You've been on plenty of flights, but granted, you didn't have to go through security on a bunch of them.
I have not needed to go through security in an airport since, sorry, I can't lie. I was going to say
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
8 months ago.
However, no, it still doesn't count because we were with Bella and I have the medical letter, right? So I have all these medical, like liquid medications, IV needles, all these things that it's like, oh, she has the medical letter from her team. Take as much as you want. It's needed medication, right? So it's like, oh, I have a medical letter.
Oh.
I don't have to abide by the 1 liter clear plastic bag with the 50 mil max or 100 mil max in the 1 liter bag. So
maybe that's okay. So you just haven't had to participate in
I have not had to participate in how to fly since probably 2010.
So we got to go through twice.
Yeah. So, okay. So this is what we learned. Okay. So I remembered, or I kind of knew, I was even looking up online. I'm like, all right, what am I allowed in my
100 mil
carry-on?
Thanks.
100 mil max.
You had like 100 mil liquids in your bag.
I didn't realize.
No, lady. So we had to drag Waylon and I, because we'd already passed through security, we had to go circle back around.
So those
and then they had to load up their bag. You had to load up our bags with your liquids. And then I think and you didn't have to dump any?
No. Oh. So what I did is I just, it's liquids and creams. So I made sure they were all under 100 mils, but I didn't know that you had to separately, you could only put per person 1 liter clear bag is what you could stuff in there. So basically I had 3 of those in one bag.
It wasn't 5 gallons.
And she's like, you can't take that. I was like, do I have to dump this? I'm like, they're all under 100 mils. And I hold it up like this, like they're all under 100 mils. Like I'm like desperate.
Waylon, I just flew. Get out.
You guys are like on the other end of security, looking at me like,
I don't know.
What's going on? And then she says to me, she's like, you're only allowed 1 liter bag per. So she's like, you got to split all this into 3, and then we have to bring your husband and son back through and rescan them because they have to claim each one of these 1 liter bags that were mine.
It worked out okay.
But it worked out okay. Lesson learned.
And then we get to the gate. We'll sit at the gate for an hour.
Yeah.
We'll sit at the gate for an hour. All right, boarding 1 and 2. All right, well, we're not 1 and 2.
We were like
we're
zone
3.
4.
Yeah, we're way at the back. Right. All right, zone 4. All right. Lyle, do you think I have time to what?
I was fast.
You had plenty of time.
I had plenty of time, regardless of the time. I went, came back, we were good to go.
Everyone's lined up.
It was fine. But yeah, I know that timing of my question made you very anxious, and I'm sorry about that.
And so in the past 2 weeks, how many flights have we had where we got to enjoy that?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
8.
Yeah. Like
8 flights.
8 flights. 8. Yeah.
You're kind of an old pro now.
I'm pro now.
Yeah. Now we just check our bags just to avoid security.
Can we?
I'll pay it. I'll wait. I don't want to go through security with that.
We did the first round with just like carry-ons, and then we did the second with checked. We're like, yeah, let's just check them.
So you had something there?
Can we connect this to and I left my brain. Where did it go?
I'm sorry.
What were we talking about? Oh, it was really important. Oh, yes. Okay. Here it is. I wanted to connect this to one of my most recent Instagram posts where it's like, can we take a minute to just appreciate that I can fly again without Ativan or tranquilizers or gravel?
I don't think we've established that you can fly. I've managed to get you on a plane. but that part alone used to take me like 3 different medications. Can you imagine on Ativan navigating you through the airport?
Yeah, I've had a friend have to do this. I had a friend have to do this after I'd taken 2 Ativan and a gravel, and it was like, oh, this is, and I'm like a drugged rhino. Like just get out of the place.
Because you were a nervous flyer.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, well, I mean, it's after all the flights with Bella to Toronto and back, and
it was like exposure therapy times.
Sure, it was. And you got to talk to like the pilot and see the cockpit. I think that really helped you, didn't it?
Yeah. It's funny that it helped me a huge amount. But I'm just still in shock that the fact that I can get on an airplane without Ativan or gravel, it blows my mind. And I did that through the last 8 flights. And I'm just like so proud of myself because I was thinking on those flights, like, okay, I'm not going to be nervous. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to be brave. I can do this. This is fun. I have my family with me. I have my friends with me, like when we went to Vegas, which we'll get into. But it's like, I thought about it. I was like, okay, if I do get nervous, what would help me feel better? What would help calm me down? And it was the fact of just either being able to talk to the flight attendant,
right,
or even better, being able to talk to the pilot. And I don't know if I could drum up my own scenario, and I know security would never allow this, but it's like, if I was legit having a panic attack, I think all I would need is the captain to be like, come here. Like basically like a grandkid on a grandpa's knee and be like, sit down for a minute. It's going to be okay. Just take a look here. This is what this button does. And
you painted everything a great picture.
Like that's all I would need. But of course that would probably never happen because like they only let like toddlers in there to see that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not this 40-year-old lady who's having a panic attack.
Yeah.
But that's what I envisioned.
Maybe you need like a therapy cat with you at all times.
Oh, yeah.
That wouldn't help at all. They're not going to explain how the plane flies, I guess.
Well, like that one flight we took, I forget where that was. It was it just you and me? I had to sit separately from you because you're not very nice and you just don't care where I sit on the plane. And I was like 20 rows behind you and you were, what flight was that? You didn't put us together or we couldn't.
I was a late booking.
Oh, anyways. The only thing that saved that trip was the fact I legit got to sit beside another pilot that was on that plane. And he was kind enough to talk me down from being.
Well, you're pretty chatty when you get on a plane. So he had no choice.
Well,
like, oh, that's good. She's going to.
But like silence with a nervous flyer. No, I need distraction.
Yeah, that was just like my flight to Toronto when I went with.
Alan. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Alan.
Yeah. I was super stressed out, not about the flight, but about the condition of Bella. Cause this was in June.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
You were coming to Toronto.
But then, and then Alan was like this 16-year-old kid from Saskatoon flying to, I think he was landing in Montreal, connecting in Toronto where I was landing. And he just sat down and he was the funniest 16-year-old kid. And he was raw dog in the flight. He had nothing. He was not prepared. He
just had you.
He had no headphones. And he looks over me. He's like, I'm not a very good flyer, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, and I'm not the best flyer. I was better than Alan. So I'm like, all right. I think
let's talk.
Yeah. We talked. The whole flight, 2.5 hours. We just BS'd. It was so fun. He took my mind off everything and I took his mind. So I get the conversation part. It really helps.
Yeah.
I wasn't nervous, about the flying, but I had other things in my head that, I mean, just this kid, and that when we still Snapchat, Alan and I, or he snaps me. I never check my Snapchat.
Yeah.
So, and he's basically the only one that snaps me.
So funny.
And I ruined his streaks, I guess. I don't know how it works, but he got after me though. And he reached out after Bella passed. I think it was like a month later. He reached out to me. Yeah, it was really sweet. I have so few connections. Like you have a million of those types.
I have a few connections. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people who are listening right now that are like, wait, can we go back to you texting David Foster and Halsey? No, you don't think so. Later. Okay, yeah.
That has nothing to do with Chicago.
No, nothing.
No.
Completely separate. Okay, what have we missed on?
But we did some really cool things in Chicago. Like,
yes.
I mean, we went to the Children's Museum. We went to Giordano's. We didn't see any sports, and Chicago was a really good sports town, but all the teams were out of town.
We did the touristy tour of Chicago without sports.
And we did the museums. Like we did the aquarium.
Saw
the dolphins.
Shed Aquarium.
And
that was awesome. Within the first 10 minutes of getting into the aquarium, there's a dolphin show. Dolphins are flying everywhere. And they're just cool. It was so cool.
We did flyover. There's lots of flyovers. There's like one in Disneyland. There's one in Las Vegas. They're like everywhere now. And they're the ones where you sit in the seats.
Yeah.
And you're basically in an IMAX, but your seat is floating, and it's kind of like.
So I love that ride when we did that ride in Disneyland with the kids, and it was amazing and magical, and I loved it. And so I was thinking, this is what flyover was going to be. And I don't know if it was the chair I was in or the position we were in or what, but you guys, like if you saw on my Instagram when we got back from Chicago, literally the 30 seconds or the 1 minute that I videoed at the beginning when Waylon's like, yeah, I couldn't, my eyes are closed. I don't know if the motion was too fast or faster than the one in Disneyland, but I was
a little faster, I think. Yeah.
I don't know how long that ride was, but I spent the entire time trying not to barf.
Money well spent. And we definitely had 3 different experiences. Yeah. You were just trying not to barf.
Yeah.
Waylon was like, wee. And I was crying.
You were crying.
Because I just felt bad because Bella had to miss it. And
because the way that it was, the story it told flying over Iceland and the music that they used, it was endearing. And it was like
emotional.
Yeah. And I would open my eyes a little bit when it would slow down. Cause like when the screen would go fast and you could, the seat, it like, you felt like you were in a hang glider going super fast. So when it did slow down a little bit, I'd glance over at you and I'd see Waylon just like eyes wide and then you were like crying. I was like, oh, I can't even. And then I just,
it's been kind of like a common theme since we lost her. It's just new experiences are so difficult for me. I don't know if they probably hit the same with you, but it feels very unfair.
Yeah. Word, that would be the word.
And I don't spend my days that way. I don't know if I will get angry, but I'm not. I mean, my faith in God helps with that. And just knowing that there's a plan, but the new experiences are difficult because I just feel like she deserves to be at them. Yeah,
I would say that is exactly how I feel. In a good summary, I find like specifically, like I'm really thankful we have our grieving therapy again this Thursday because it's been a couple weeks, and we mentioned this in the last episode about how we're intentionally grieving. But I feel like I'm going to have a lot more questions this week about how I feel like it's getting harder and harder to not feel like I just want to stop everything and cry all day. Like, I feel like that's what's my body is just like, stop doing things and just lay down and cry. But the pain is preventing me from doing that. The pain in it, I want to remember so much, but the memories are still predominantly painful. And I'm wanting and grasping at the happy ones. And I think I want to ask our therapist this, but I think it's because we don't have closure yet from her autopsy report,
right?
Her team.
Yeah.
And that is something that's the way my brain has always worked.
Mm-hmm.
My brain is always medical first, what and how to prevent. And it's been how I've just, like every parent, keep your kid alive.
Right.
And so
real one.
Yeah, real one. Keep your kid alive. And that's just been like, it's taken over my mind in a sense that it's, I want to move that to the side so I can just see her smile, see the happiness, know that and feel that she had more happiness than she did pain in hospital. Mm-hmm. I've just found that really hard lately.
But she has.
Yeah.
She did. Yeah. We always spoke about
that. My heart does. My brain is telling me.
She was never that bedridden for months kid. No. And when she was for a week, she still got time to enjoy it. It wasn't that way.
With the hospital programs or child lab programs, she was up and doing stuff that she loved.
I think when we do these trips like Chicago, and you were saying where we are busy, and the day we get home, it's just, we've been go the last 3 days in Chicago, and then travel. And then when you get home, it's just full shutdown mode. Yesterday, we couldn't cry ourselves to sleep.
Yeah. We had
I guess probably because we haven't spent the time.
Yeah.
In 3 days.
Yeah. When we were laying there in bed last night and just like you said, crying ourselves to sleep. If we're being real, we had you grabbed a towel from the bathroom because we were both just sobbing and we didn't have Kleenex in the room. And we're just like, that's how our bodies were like, this is the time you're going to release this. Cause we've just been on go. You don't get a choice. I feel like my body tells me how to grieve and when to grieve. In my mind, I don't get the choice.
No. Well, but you do, because you can when we're out doing something,
you can put on the poker face.
You can put on the poker face. You can kind of snap yourself out of it. I can. I shouldn't speak for you, but I can push her down. I feel like I can't. I feel like wait. It'll always come up later.
It depends on.
But that's okay, because you got to operate somehow, right? It
depends on the level of distraction.
Yeah.
When I was at the dentist, did I tell the dentist story? I can't remember if I told the dentist story, but it was I'm in the dentist about to get my cleaning done. I was getting cavities fixed too. So there was needles involved, but I had freezing. It wasn't a pain thing, but it's it just in that moment, I had the freezing on. Mm-hmm. They were giving me the needles in the cheeks, didn't feel the needles at all. It was okay, the freezing's going to set in for the actual cleaning and fixing. And so my dentist gives me the needles and then, and leaves. And that's when I just start bawling. And I'm it's just because the action of getting that just threw me right back into okay, all the needles that Bella had and all the pain she went through. And I just started bawling. And my poor tech, she was what do you call it? Dental assistant. I was are you okay? I was this is nothing to do with the needles. I'm okay. And I think she knew, and she just gave me some Kleenex and stuff. But it's I just feel the tears just come. When we were walking on the pier in Chicago.
Oh yeah. That was really cool. Lots of stuff to do out there.
Yeah. And we were just walking, check out the pier and the Navy Pier. And the tears just came. And it's there's people walking by you. And
what did he just say to her? Oh no.
It's
what a jerk, that guy.
Yeah.
He must have done something.
You never, Waylon's run up and down laughing. I'm just bawling, looking at something that Bella would have enjoyed. And it's you just really never know. But, we ended our Chicago trip with, I think, what was Waylon's favorite part? Mall of America.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What a unexpected little detour from courtesy of United.
Oh, okay. Yes. So is there a short way to explain the United saga?
Yes, if I do it.
Okay. You do it, because I'll just go on and be
we got stuck in the tarmac in Vegas for maintenance.
Not Vegas. Chicago.
In Chicago, we had stuck on tarmac for an hour and a half.
They had to check the brakes. Okay, this is the funny part though.
Mhm.
Let me pause you for a minute. Our pilot explained that they had like basically the equivalent of a check engine light come on for their brakes.
Yeah.
And he's like, so the crew's going to come on. They're going to do some checks and let us know when we can go.
What do they need brakes for?
Like, talk about like worst scenario for like nervous flyers. Okay, everything seems good to go.
Let's go. Just go. Put it in reverse when we land. Just rev up reverse. Who needs brakes?
So we take off, and me being like the actual like ex nervous flyer was like, well, I guess we'll see if they work when it lands. We'll see if it fits. No confirmation, just like, oh, okay, we're gonna go.
Love to throw down like something else and stop us.
One of those nets that the Navy uses for their jets that take off a plane.
Oh, like the hook thing.
Yeah, the hook.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Could they use those for Boeing 747s?
I wouldn't want to be in one.
Danny, look into
that. All right, yeah.
They use them for fighter jets.
So anyways, we got stuck on the tarmac.
Yeah.
Late for our so United got us to Minneapolis where our connection was, but we landed too late. Totally missed our WestJet flight.
Yeah, to Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. Okay.
Seemed probably a pretty common occurrence. And I brought it to the lady at the desk, and she is like, she'd never heard of that situation happening before. Anyways, after them trying to reroute us through Mumbai or something,
they were like, well, we could get you to Toronto and then 17 hours later get you back to Regina. And we're like, what?
Wow.
The same flight that we were supposed to be on is tomorrow at the same time. Put us on that flight. Well, there's nothing. It's full.
And so I looked it up on the app. It wasn't full.
Yeah.
I'm like, here it is. I'm like, well, we can't book that one. And then I'm like, well, and so I'm like,
this is why I can't tell this story.
I said, well, okay, well, I'm you got to pay for this flight. Like it's a $3,000 for the 3 seats for us to get there, because it was the last minute. Anyways, the guy, I tell, is your manager here? And so this guy shows up. Maybe he's the manager. He says, no, book that. We'll definitely give you your money back. I'm like, man, you are, this is exactly what a guy would say just to get rid of me. Yeah. I know that's what you're doing right now. Like there's no way.
Yeah.
And so of course I booked the flights. And then when we get home, I put in the little note, like she tells me, oh no, just submit through this online portal.
Like, yeah, we're recording it all. We'll let them know. Yeah.
No idea. But so they're not going to reimburse us, but they're going to give us a $50
voucher.
I'm not done. We're not done with it.
Oh,
let's see where that goes.
This is what gets me though. Okay. How advanced are we that they're the United booking people, yet we're the ones that see it on our phone. And they're like, oh, we don't see that.
They just told me the flight was full. I'm like, the flight isn't full. I'm looking at it right there. Why are you lying to me? And the guy's like, yeah, I don't know.
He was like, well, because you were originally booked in coach and the only ones available were first class.
But first class on the WestJet flight, it's all the same seats.
It's all the same seats. It's not even, it's just the first 5 seats of the plane. That's all it is.
Yeah. It's the front rows that are the exact same seats as the back rows.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was annoying. But we got to stay the night in Minneapolis.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I don't know, hidden gem. That place kind of kicks ass. I don't know.
We had fun.
Mall of America.
There's
like 4 roller coasters in that room.
It was.
And we hit every one of them. And the log flume. The Waylon and I got so fun.
A log ride. Like it was so cool. I honestly didn't realize it was that big of a theme park in there.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I knew Mall of America was popular. So I'm telling Waylon, I was just excited to go be like shopping like a cool mall.
You didn't do a single bit of shopping.
No, it was just theme park.
Sorry.
So I'm telling Waylon, he's like, oh, the mall. And I was like, don't worry, honey. I'm sure there'll be a play space. Like at your local mall, there's like a little slide swing area, right? We walk in and Waylon and I are both just like,
yeah, he freaked out. He was like, whoa.
Like the slow, mouth drop, head raise, like, what? It was like, what? Like, it was the coolest.
And it was dead in there. So he got to
Monday morning
just run to every single ride. And the nice part was, because he's under 4 feet tall, he had to have somebody accompany him regardless, he could go on the ride, but he needs someone. So I didn't have to pay.
You didn't have
I got to ride everything with him.
Yeah. As his chaperone. Yeah. Chaperones. He is like 44 inches tall.
So he could squeeze on.
He was really in the middle of so many. And they all were like, okay, chaperone, if you're this height. And he was like, everyone, you got to go on your Mall of America free ride.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
I think the flight home was uneventful.
Oh, all of our 8 flights in the last 2 weeks have been really good.
Okay.
There was a little turbulence on one, but it's nothing. I'm still a nervous flyer, but I felt like after those flights, like, I don't know if there's like a weird sweat that people get, nervous sweat, right? That's a thing. I felt like I just stunk after every flight because I felt like.
Did you have to say it that way too?
Yes, because it's nasty.
If a word could smell it, it was that one.
It was so. Because I envisioned, like, I did my breathing, I did my calming, whatever I did to get through those flights, but it was like in a plane down. There's so many flights, but while I'm in the air, like, I love taking off, I love landing. Because it's like we're close to the ground, whereas like lots of people are like, oh, that's when things happen and they get nervous. I'm like, no, that's easy. When we're just sitting stagnant in the air, that's when I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? It's too quiet. It's too still. It's too silent, right? You'd think that would be the opposite. That would be the calming time. It's not for me. So I feel like after a flight, whether it's like 2 hours or 3 hours, to me, it's like I've just been chased by a bear for 2 hours straight. So my body is like I'm not moving, but I'm just like, the sweat is like oozing out of me, this nervous sweat.
Oh.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Your adrenaline.
Okay. I was going to say, like, is this a thing? Like, this
gotta be a thing.
This is what happens to me.
Yeah. You're in like fight or flight mode.
I'm in for like the whole time.
There's a pun there. I just don't.
Fight or flight. I am in flight mode.
I don't know.
But not the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, if
go
I
now.
was... If
so
my body
going to start bust into the cabin
when you're
fight the
when you're in flight mode, but you can't flight. You can't flight. And you can't fight. Or they land in another city and a lot of people get mad at you. Like that guy who like kicked over did you see that on Facebook today or like on socials today? Mm-mm. He was a United Airlines too, I'm pretty sure, or Delta. I might have been it might have been Delta, but I thought it was United. This guy is like on this plane, he's just like, I didn't read the whole story, but he's just like kicking down the seat, like backwards. Like maybe someone kicked his seat like this. And then he's just like, and he's like, it's like flat. It's like gurney flat in the middle of the airplane. Did you see
Sounds like United. Yeah.
All right. On to the next things. Okay. Do we want to get into the Facebook hacker saga of recent? We did mention we were going to talk about that story or other things that we don't want to forget to talk about.
I don't know. Other things. Okay.
We had not mentioned
Facebook hacking is pretty common. It's annoying. We got it.
We have a whole story.
I found out. No, I don't do. Okay. Sorry.
Well, we do because I was sharing like as it was going on my socials. And so I kind of want to catch people up with like what exactly.
Well, you got it now.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's just go into that. Okay. So what did we learn? What to watch out for? And I did write down in here that this could segue into how our socials started. Don't ask me why I did that, but I did write that down in our outline. And how TikTok happened. We might go down that road. We'll see. I promised them in the last episode that we would. So there's a lot of people that might be tuning in. They're like, Kyla, you said you were going to talk about this and you didn't. So don't let me forget. Don't blank stare at me. Help me out with this. Okay. If I miss something, jump in. We were really excited.
You were booked on a cool podcast, but it turned out that this guy's a scammer.
And we fell hook, line, and sinker.
And he got into our Facebook because he booked a pre-meeting to set up the Facebook Live.
Yes.
And so we brought him in and gave him permission.
Gave him permission to help.
So stupid.
Because we
he thought was good though. Like the emails, they knocked it out of the park.
They looked flippin' professional. Mm-hmm. I was mad that like I've considered you, like this is a compliment, like a Facebook hacker. Like the whole time we've lived together, I'm just like, you're such like that IT guy they can do this and do that and do this and get in and out and all these things. So for you to be duped, I was like, oh, like what? Like
they didn't do anything. They just tried to like
everything.
They tried to repost all of your videos, but then they turned on monetization for all of them. Yeah. And then started resharing them again. And so it was so really cringy because if you didn't know what was you'd see like Kyla posting an old video of Bella. It was totally like cringy and untasteful.
But they left their name there. It was like Roger something.
Oh yeah, maybe they couldn't get around that. But I mean, regardless, if you were looking, you would see that. But I mean, no, people aren't looking at that. No. But really, the only way we found, because there was no way to fix it through Facebook, but I found really you can get paid verification with the check mark. And if you do that, you can then access like a higher level of customer service where you can actually chat to somebody. And they're like, oh, so we finally figured that out. When we realized this was happening, that our page, Bella Brave on Facebook, got hacked, we were like, oh no. And then so we start reaching out to Facebook and they're not getting back. Yeah. There's no email that's going to come back. So it was like, so the live chat was great. Yeah. It fixed it, I think, in 24 hours and everything went back to normal. Yeah. It was just super annoying, super frustrating. And I was really excited about being on this special pod. Yeah. And then, the reason why we found out is because I tagged them on my Instagram. I'm like, I get to be on so-and-so's podcast. Yay. They DM'd me and they're like, that's a scam. This has been happening to us. Sorry to burst your bubble. We don't want you. And then and then I was like, oh. So then everything kind of settled down. I was like, well, they mean who I am. I would really like to still be on the pod. Kind of would be. It was about like the focus was like mental health, and it was like crickets. No, sorry, we don't want you. Well, they're not going to get an invite on ours then. Well, that was a weird thing. That was what really got me, was in the email where it was like the producer was reaching out and it was like, we know your story and you be great. We want to be a guest on this pod because your connection to mental health and being a medical mom. And it was like the way they worded that email was like, oh, they know about me. Mm-hmm. Like, oh. They put a lot of time into it and they didn't make a cent off of it. So that's true. They did not get anywhere with trying to make money off of their. As far as we know, maybe there's still some back corner cranny. Anyways, it's super frustrating. Around. But it is all settled. You said the only way to get them to help us out was through verification, but we never ended up getting my page verified. I got mine because verified. You got locked out through all of it all. And so, but like any personal person, like I'm not famous or anything, but I just paid for like the $30 for a month to get verified. It worked. But you're verified right now. For this, I canceled it already. Like I don't need to be. So I'm not paying $30 for that, for a check mark. Well, no, but like I will again if I need like the assistance or no. But like, is there benefit to being verified though? Like, should we be paying to get the Facebook page verified so it has less chance of this happening again? That's what I was wondering. I'll look into it. Yeah, we need to look into that. Yeah. When we get back from contact Leslie. Sorry. Like if you're a TikTok brain, it's so funny. My algorithm right now is like making fun of us TikTok brain people where we do a famous TikTok sound, which I just did one of those. Oh. When we get back from New York, contact Leslie. And it's if nobody gets it and they don't watch TikTok, then it's just like sad for us. Yeah. Sad. It's like an inside joke, like but you're assuming everyone's in on it. Right. What about this one? I like my suitcase. No. I never go on TikTok. Oh, I'm so sorry. Painful. I like my suitcase. I go to school now. I'm a Reels guy. Ugh. I'll find out about it in like 3 months. Darn it. Right. Okay. All right. Okay. A couple more things before we end the show today. I did forget to mention that now that we are recording video with our audio. Oh yeah. I'm going to have googly eyes, and I want to tell our googly eyes story. I'm going to change these. Yeah. I'm going to change these every time we record. So look for them in a different spot.
I just have them here. Very simple.
This is like a tiny screen where you're going to run on.
I might put them on Charlotte next time. Maybe I'll put them on the edge of your chair. Maybe they'll be like on my leg.
Okay.
It'd be a fun little search and find. So our googly eye, if you know Bella, our daughter.
It's kind of like, what's that movie where in every scene the person's mole moves around?
Is that Austin Powers? Is that Austin Powers?
I think it is.
Yeah. Molly Mole.
No, his is just really big.
But it moves.
Does it
right?
move?
I don't know what movie that is. Denny, look that up.
If it's something different, I'll put it in the show notes or something, or you could just put it in like a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Sorry.
So, okay. So if you know our story, Bella and I had spent much of her life in hospital and sometimes years at a time without coming home. And for some of those long stays, there was plenty of stays where she couldn't even leave her hospital room or we couldn't leave the unit. So we'd be walking like down the hallways and that was as far as she could go. She couldn't even go outside. So I was always trying to think of things that would help, make it fun for her. Okay, wait, sorry, pause. Prince of Thieves. Danny said. Danny. Oh my gosh, I just called him Danny. I have no idea what you're talking about. And then he said Prince of Thieves. So sorry about that interruption there. Okay, back to the googly eye story. I'll figure it out later. You answer, Danny. I have to continue my googly eye story. So I got this idea one day to place googly eye stickers around her hospital room and around the unit we were on. And I've done this at all the hospitals she's been at. So Alberta Children's and at Sick Kids and at our local hospital and and our Saskatchewan hospital, Jim Pattison's. So it started with us putting googly eyes in really funny places at Sick Kids. And like some of them were on the signs downstairs, like the exit signs. And like, I would make sure to never put them on like things that clearly should not have them on, like specialized signs, but I put them on, I'd hide them in little spots. And she loved it. And they would be like little treasure hunts every time we had to go back to the hospital or whatnot. And she took part and we'd find some more to hide. And we've had many friends who visited the hospitals and tell us how much joy that brings them when they find them. And I was just happy that I could do that for her and happy that she found joy in it and happy that her friends are finding joy in it. And it's kind of like an ongoing thing that we started. And I love the memories of when Bella and I would hide the googly eyes together. And she would always be like, "Mom, there's a security guard coming." Or it would be like a security guard, or would she call like a police officer? And she'd be like, "They're going to catch us." Mm. And so we'd always try to do.
She's a badass.
Oh,
Bella. She loved getting in trouble.
She was like, "We got to do it, but we got to be sneaky about it, Mom." And so we'd go and we'd like hide them all. And it was like, and then we get really mad because in some places, like Sick Kids, I remember there's still some there, but in the common places, they would get like taken down or removed. And we're like, come on. But Alberta Children's is awesome. They've
littered
the most. Alberta Children's is where we spent the most time in hospital.
I think other people have
other people have pitched in, but the ones that people have been sending me are the original ones that Bella and I put up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still there. They're not taking. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. So there's tons there. And so it's kind of our thing. And this blew me away. I still haven't had any prominent dreams with Bella. I've only had one. You've had one. I haven't had any big like flashing, like I don't know how to explain it without going off into a whole like sappy segue, but I just crave and I really want, and I'm being patient, but it's like you just want so bad to have those signs every day, all the time. And I just don't think that that's, maybe I shouldn't put so much want into that.
Right.
And realize that I'm already getting that with the people that have come up to me and talked to me and told me what Bella meant to them and told me and thanked me for sharing our story. But I did have a couple incidents where, for example, when we got off the plane in Vegas last week, immediately when we get off the plane, we go to the washrooms, and on the washroom sign, you know, the little like male figure sign, googly eye, just like this. I was like, I stood there in shock. And then my friend who was leaving Vegas, because we were like texting on Snapchat, she's like, oh, I'm leaving the same time you're arriving. Maybe we'll see each other at the airport. She's like, I'm staring at this googly eye, like in shock, like Bella's here. Like she's here. This is a sign. This is a googly eye that I haven't seen in the wild. And then she's like, Kyle, and then turn around. It's my friend Christy. Anyways.
We had lots of bump ins in Chicago and Vegas. Or not bump ins, just people that came up to us and said, hey, we know you. I
wanted to mention that.
It's really awesome.
Yeah.
We like that.
It means a lot to me because I feel like that's a way of Bella being like, Mom, I got you. I'm here. And there was one girl who came up to us at the Saskatoon airport. And you saw her waving at me, and I missed her the first time. And then she came up to me and she had an ostomy, just like Bella had an ostomy.
Yeah, I saw her above and she was like waving, trying to get her attention. I'm like, hi. And
we didn't know her. No.
And then we bump into her later.
But thankfully bump into her later.
Yeah. I was like, I saw you. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I didn't know her. And then so thankfully she came up and she was like, yes, I was the one waving. I had an ostomy, and she told me that she knew that Bella would absolutely love the ostomy camp. Because Bella had plans to go to the ostomy camp, and this is a girl that had been there, and she knew Bella would love it. And so we were talking about that for a little bit, and it just meant a lot. And then there was the lady that worked at the airport. You guys were joking about her. You guys were joking together. She was meant there. She was explaining what her job was to us.
She's like a stress relief staff.
And
you need to be doing that.
It was really funny because she was like, her job was to talk to us. And then she was just talking to us. It's like, don't you have a job to do? And we were kind of like making jokes about it. It was really funny. But she was another person who reached out and was just like, I know your story. I know who Bella was. And this is what she meant to me. And then there was another lovely lady in Vegas who saw me on the street the day we were leaving. And she's like, her daughter had followed our story for years and was like, Mom, Kyle and Lyle are in Vegas right now. Like, and she's like, well, if I bump into her, you know, like I'll say hi. And her daughter was like, oh, good luck with that. Right. And then lo and behold, she bumps into us and we got a picture, and it's just really sweet.
Did you explain at the start of this pod that we were in Chicago 2 weekends ago?
No, we didn't.
And then we were in Vegas. So Kyla's not about, she keeps saying Vegas, but I think she means Chicago. Oh, no, yeah. We'll clear that up. We had quite a bit of scheduling things come up, but we'll probably talk about Vegas next week and some fun things that happened there.
You want to talk about Vegas next week?
I think so.
Stay tuned. Yeah. I don't know what we're at for time. Did Denny text you? Are we trailing off?
We're doing okay. But okay. I'm just, the mole thing.
Oh, okay.
So it's in the movie Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Alan Rickman, remember from Harry Potter?
Yes.
He was, rest in peace. He had a continuity error where his mole moved from one place to a different place in a different scene. It was an accident. So then in Robin Hood Men in Tights, Richard Lewis, rest in peace, played the same character, but they made fun of it.
Made a joke of it.
And made his mole moving around in like every scene.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy we figured that out.
So the Google eyes can be a continuity error.
That's so sweet.
It wasn't intentional. I don't know how they got over there. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Do you want to tell everyone about Saskatoon?
Yes. Okay. I'm just getting on to, and Denny said we are like an hour plus right now. So we're doing good. Okay. So we don't want you to, by the time this episode comes out, it's going to be the Monday before Bella's ball. Mm-hmm. And I have my friend Jen Draper from Ember's Productions in Saskatoon, who kindly and thoughtfully and generously created Bella's ball in honor of Bella to celebrate her birthday that's coming up. Her birthday is December 6th. And so she will be 11 in heaven.
Ooh.
And so much of my heart loves that for her. Like it's just beautiful. And Jen, who is an event planner, she created Bella's ball in honor of Bella and to celebrate her birthday. And this is going to be super fun. So we wanted to remind you all that it's coming up for December. It's Sunday, December 8th at TCU Place in Saskatoon. There's going to be princesses. There's going to be superheroes, bouncy castles, face painting, and so much more. There's also going to be a brunch. And if you go to her page on embersproductions.jen on Instagram, she's got tickets on there. Tickets, I believe, are on sale till December 1st. And she's encouraging people to bring new gifts that are going to be delivered in Bella's name to RMHC afterwards for Christmas. And all proceeds, or a portion of proceeds from this event, are going to go to RMHC and Pattison Children's Hospital in Saskatoon.
Perfect.
Yes. And so that'll be December 8th. And there is different ticket options. So you can either get a ticket for the ball with brunch or without brunch. And if you talk to Jen, if you message her, Scotty's back. If you message my friend Jen on her Instagram page, she is making it, I want to word this right, but she has people offering to sponsor tickets for people that can't, medical families or people that just don't have the money but really would like to be there. Mm-hmm. You can talk to her about getting a sponsor ticket. And there's also giveaways too.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So
how do we get tickets again? Sorry, go on her Instagram, or we can put it in the show notes probably too.
We can put it in the show notes. Yeah. Or emberproductions.jen on Instagram.
Oh, perfect. Yes. I'm excited because I think I was a little bit nervous. I'm like, well, how do we do her first birthday?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've like, her birthday's on the Friday.
We still don't really.
It's going to be tough, but I'm happy that she's taking care of honoring her in a way, giving us that. And we can take Friday, her actual birthday, to just be like, I don't know, maybe we can go see her gravesite, but there's not an obligation. Like, we don't have to rack our brains. Like, are we doing this right? Or are we not? We can just be.
I really
relax.
Yeah.
I just don't know. But.
Yeah. When Jen did this for me and she reached out to me with this, I instantly felt a weight lifted that to have a friend honor her for specifically her birthday in such a way that I just would.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
So perfect.
It's Christmas time. It's about giving. It's about Belle.
It's what Bella would want.
It's perfect.
Come and have fun and give to the charities that matter the most to me in the hospital that's helped me. That is everything. And for Jen to be able to put that together for her and us and just to have it all done. We don't have to worry. We don't have to plan nothing. It's just all done and it's meaningful. And I'm just so thankful for that. Mm-hmm. And Jen, I hope that when you hear this, Lyle and Waylon and I give you a big thank you and we love you. And this is amazing. And we appreciate it because I know it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
But when you hear this, it'll be like 4 or 5 days. So if you can come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make it happen.
Lots of time for you guys to come. And let me just get back to my outline here and make sure there's anything else we forgot.
No, I think we can.
Should we wrap her up?
Wrap her up.
Yeah, let's wrap her up.
Make sure to like and follow us, hit that little bell on Spotify. So when we drop a new pod, you get alerted. Mm-hmm. And make sure to hit the 5 stars because that really helps too.
Yes, the rating of the stars is the rating of the stars of the podcast. Is the rating of the stars. Really helps us new podcasters.
Yeah, cool.
And also, if you are new to this show, or you want to catch up on any other of our socials at Kyla CTs, or you can find me on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you guys for tuning in all the way through episode 2.
Right on.
And don't forget to stay kind and stay brave.
I do think the neighbors are into it.
And neighbors are all like, what is happening over there?